They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but me think that divide wide enough to talk about the gap between us. Rabs, bacchanal and contention, we have all of that in the session. Let we talk man and woman thing, warriors, jamets, queens and kings. We are sure if men are from Mars and women are from Venus. But little comments on a Friday. Jaiga, Raw, Rody versus Abby. 3 man and 1 jamet from South. That is what we talking about.
Yes, sir. There's one M days today.
Listen.
Today's one of those.
My tired is tired.
Today's one of those. But
Woo.
The professionals that we are here
Yes.
to wing it.
We fighting the retrogrades.
We are here to wing it.
Papio will be back shortly.
So we are here to wing it. And in winging,
there's always danger when he wings, eh? You all know this, right? Okay.
for all my wingers and wingettes.
All birds.
To all my wingers and wingettes. What are we winging today?
Cleveland, tell me something about traditional and non-traditional relationships and whatnot.
But again, times have changed, and what is considered traditional and non-traditional?
Exactly.
Non-traditional.
What he sent is to... Let me see if I could frame the question. Something about...
We should say people. I don't like saying one gender. We should say...
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. Where people who present as non-traditional, like, times have changed.
Yeah, but one traditional.
But we still want elements of tradition. What are your thoughts on that? Is it fair? I suppose the question would then be: is it fair to subscribe to non-traditional values, but still want elements of traditionality within your relationship? If that makes sense.
Wow, that makes it a little tad bit complicated.
It's not complicated.
When you start,
you are somebody who, you're new age, but you still want Mr. Man to open the door and thing for you.
Not only that, let me break it down for you.
Wow.
Every Sunday you go to church, you go to prayer meetings and so on.
Wow.
You understand?
Giving the caveat that, again, it is what traditional means to you. So,
to
going
you,
to prayer meeting might be traditional to you.
To you.
And that's fine.
Some people grew up in the space of
you have your
prayer
Thanksgiving
meeting.
and prayers and all them things.
Right? But the man you like is a fetter and a masquerader.
Mm-hmm.
A rum drinker. A snacket limer.
Right?
He loves to go by the bar and a bench and swing.
He's a hawk and spit.
He's a hawker and a spitter. He is a racetrack beater. Go forward.
Wow.
Go forward.
Can those two things align?
Can it align? Can you live in peace for a lengthy time if your relationship looks like that? Because love is love, eh? We can't at some point love when it hits you. Love like COVID, it hits you, you know.
Wow. What exactly? COVID is what? Ross like, yeah, but it could dead too though.
But love kills. How much people do you know die for love? So when you really think about it, it's like COVID.
I don't think dying for love is a flex.
When it hits you, you don't know it can for all of a sudden.
It's not like soccer. When it hits you feel no pain.
It's not that. That's not love. When it hits you, you get short breath because of the excitement.
But I wish we would get to the point of understanding that love does not have to hurt, eh? It shouldn't.
It should not, but sometimes it does.
Love.
So when it hits you like COVID, you get short breath. But the excitement of that person that's in your space
is truly disturbing.
You understand? Then, lack of you breathe differently. Things change in your life. Some people, when they meet somebody, not everybody self-aware enough, Abby, to understand that you still have life, Some people meet people and forget that they have a life,
Do you believe in life after love?
Some people really, really get caught up in it.
Share.
Stop talking to the friend and thing, You don't know people like that. They just stop talking to the friend because why? You have a new mister now, you don't know nobody. Things you used to do, you do them no more. things I used to do, I do them no more. You stop. All the time on a Friday, you and your home girls just go Barak. Where's the place in Aranguez? Barak, the pizza place?
I have no idea.
What was his name again?
It's
What
not
the
a girl
is
of Aranguez.
Baraka or something like that. Somebody remind me now. Somebody WhatsApp remind me.
Pizza place that we
Nah, I thought fancy pizza place. Let's go by. I forget his name. This thing just didn't
It's giving
sleep in
thin
this
crust.
way. Yeah.
It's giving wine with your pizza.
Somebody will say this now.
Anyway, the point is, can
goodie.
people from the two ends of the
Tell it how that come
spectrum align?
Bukara.
Papa.
Nah, that's something.
It's something expensive.
But it's in Aranguez.
It's given expense. You know, when
Nah,
you have
it's
to pause to pronounce
Nah,
it.
it's fairly priced. It's fairly priced.
Anyway, the point is, can people from the two different ends of the spectrum in terms of your value system?
I don't know how this gonna work. This show gonna work today with this
How
phone doing this
are
nonsense.
you? The phone being weird.
This thing real stupid, boy. I don't know how to take it off because it's not functional. There is no shortcut, nothing to get into this thing, boy.
So you cannot open WhatsApp?
No.
You turn off the phone and put it back on?
I did all of that.
Okay, well, it mash up.
Because this now,
Yeah.
it go into this thing where it's soft for everything.
Yeah, Nigel might be able to fix it.
You ever see that before?
Yeah, I think this is for like somebody that might be blind.
Right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
no, it's for people that are
Take
blind,
it
but
off, fix it.
it's a
Bless you. Well, while we wait on the phone to fix, Daily Show is trying to fix it. Papa is on his way back. Do you believe? I guess it's left up to us. Again, for me, it's always about conversation. It's always about communication, not just conversation. Because there's the verbal, but there's also other ways we communicate. There are ways that there are different love languages. So once you are in a space where there's healthy communication and understanding of each other's love language, then you're fine. You know, for me, the values, the things that you believe in, you gotta believe in something. You know, I'm always wary of people who don't seem to believe in nothing. But values are important to me. You know, we had to be, if not necessarily on the same exact page, which doesn't mean we don't have to agree on everything, but we have to be at least inside of the same book. You have to be inside the same book. You know, mightn't be the same chapter or same page, but
the same book.
Same book.
But if it's a real big book.
Well, we hope we in close proximity in terms of the chapters. In close proximity. You know, because you have to be realistic too. Sometimes we grow faster or slower than the people that we with. And it depends on where you are in your relationship in terms of, are you willing to grow with somebody, like knowing that maybe they move a little bit slower than you and you give them the grace to grow at their own speed, or you realize that the rate of growth is too fast or too slow and the whole thing is untenable and you just have to go your separate ways and allow
And let me
people
just show
to
this.
be.
Let me show this in the mix as well. Speaking in the same context and conversation of can two things align? Do you all believe that in this now time we have become a little more impatient?
In what regard?
It's like with relationships, like giving each other grace, something like we think that we are impatient, that we quick to run to judgment, or quick to not give people a chance because we believe it should be a particular way. And like long time we say, remember now, it used to be where we complained and argue with our grandparents for not standing their ground and doing what's right. And allowing too much nonsense. Like you hear all the stories about your grandmother and your grandfather had two children down the road and your grandmother, and you're not taking it. But now it got to the point where you think that, do you think that the period, that little patience,
Be impatient.
we are now too impatient in the quest to get better, because what we've been looking for is for better.
It's for better.
We want it better for everybody, women especially, where that long time narrative of your grandfather was allowed to do whatever you wanted to do and let your grandmother just feel the brunt, because you know how much grandparents raised
yes
all kind of but people children.
You know, here's what I'll say. You all know I'm never a fan of painting with a broad brush. What I would say is, for me, I'm aware of the fact that sometimes I can be impatient, in that here's where my impatience peaks. I give people grace, but I become impatient when I feel as though you're not doing the work. When it's visible that you're not doing the work.
Great is the Daily Show, guys.
Yeah, he fixed it.
He fixed it. That's why he's here.
know?
He has purpose.
Yeah. Don't expect me
That's why we have him around.
to carry all the emotional, to do all the emotional labor in the space. You know what I mean? Like, do the work. Like, go to therapy. Google a term you don't understand. Or talk to a friend. Do the work. Like, do your own shadow work. Don't expect me to do it for you. You know, where you're not seeing change behavior. You're just stuck. That's when I become impatient.
Shannon said, nah, I gone. Honestly, waited before and it paid nothing.
Yeah. Especially when you have bad experiences of doing that waiting in vain thing. You're just there marking time, and nothing happening. I'm not talking about it nothing happening in terms of, people who want to get married and all that. I mean, nothing happening in terms of changed behavior and emotional growth. That's when I become impatient. And then I'm like,
So guys, are we winging closer to traditional or non-traditional?
I know I am nothing. There's nothing about me that is traditional in the Western sense. If we're talking about traditional in the non-Western, going back to our belief system, I am trying to, when I say our belief system, Black, Yoruba, Ifa,
but
in
that belief system, isn't it that you have to have like sister wives?
Not necessarily, no. Not necessarily.
Because I know that's a common practice.
Not necessarily,
in that
no.
system.
No, not necessarily. If you want to talk about that kind of traditionality in terms of my spiritual belief system, then yes. But within the Western context, that's considered New Age, right?
That's New Age now.
New Age now. So exactly. So you know what I mean? So there's nothing about me that is traditional in the Western sense.
But you think it possible for you to be a sister wife at all?
No.
If everything is correct across the board?
Nope.
No, it's just not in you.
No.
You can't be a sister wife.
No.
Okay, cool. No problem. Just asking.
Hey guys, I believe in communication. So I agree with what Abby is saying. Strongly. Communication.
Yeah. Hold on.
That has solved the problem, for most things.
Jaiga, we on the tracks balling. Woo, donkey. Woo, donkey.
What is this I hear in here, boy?
A mess. So he's non-traditional, I guess.
No,
or is that traditional?
No, the reason why we brought it up, the reason why I swing that way is because I'm sure I'm not alone, especially in the Caribbean space, the Caribbean diaspora, where we know a lot of aunts and a lot of uncles who if you visualize them from the outside, were very different.
Right.
Because I know for a fact.
But they worked, supposedly.
And when I say uncles, I'm talking about friends of my aunts.
Wow.
Okay? When I say
uncle so and so.
When I say uncles, understand, because you all know the story. I have tons and tons of aunts.
Right.
So I have known a lot of uncles. Right? I had an uncle, we didn't call his name. He was a New Testament little Bible in pocket type uncle.
Hey, the little blue Bible.
Hey. He was one of those.
Right. And she, however.
He was one of those, and I'm talking about always wear a shirt with a pen in the pocket and has his little thing, and he had a rubber band around it. Because he used to use it to also store his little collaterals and so on.
Collaterals.
Yeah, so he would have a little maxi taxi money in it and so on.
Wow.
So I will always see him pull it out. So if he's standing by the shop, he'll pull out this little Bible, and in the cuff of it, at the first page, he might have a few dollars. He will skin it out and hand you a little $5.
Wow, I had to say it so.
To run to the... Skin it out and hand you a $5 to run to the parlor.
Meanwhile, your aunt was totally opposite.
My aunt was drinking nip.
Wow. She was the one on the racetrack.
She was beaten on the racetrack.
And how long did they last?
Quite a while.
So it worked, I guess.
But I'm saying, can that work now, though?
But it does, though. We see people who we think are totally, completely opposites, and they're out here and they're living their life. This is why I cannot paint with a broad brush. Different strokes for different folks. Every situation is different.
Make sure Daily Show disable Google Assist. Did you do that? Disable.
It's voiceover mode.
Oh, voiceover mode, guys.
Something about voiceover mode. He fixed it, though. We good. Right. Voice notes. Hit it.
Abby, I want traditional. I want our ancestors' traditional, not the colonizers' traditional. We're
Agreed.
telling you
I
have to
hear you,
have one
baby.
wife. No.
You
I want
right.
the
You want the
ancestors where you can have
ancestors.
multiple once you can afford it.
Okay, cool.
I hear you. That's not for me, but I understand where you are coming from.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In a lot of cultures, it's different. And some people, these are all no though. Let me just play with some of these because people.
Early morning. Pleasant good morning. After all the energy last week, Friday, don't come this Friday and short way.
Too bad.
Don't do it.
Hard luck.
And know all you have it and all that. Take it out. Go deep in the diaphragm and get it out.
Wow.
And with that energy is a must today.
Okay, cool.
Is a must. Don't just drop it just so. Slowly decline and level off.
Okay.
Come on.
Have a blessed day, sir.
Fall off the precipice.
Good morning, breakfast party. It is here. It
What's
is
that?
the 30th of June, the last day of school feeding, the last day for meals in the schools nationwide. So you know what will happen next week? The road will be real light because nobody is sending the children out to school.
Ah, he has arrived.
I am so happy. I survived it. All right, bring the punch in.
Wow. She's asking for punching.
Nice. You reach back. You was listening, Nika? Nice, good. Hit it.
Rodell is a traditional type of guy.
You think so?
Yeah. Rodell came up in that space.
The dude who just dress up in like
That have nothing to do with
clothes
nothing.
to
That have nothing
do
with
to
nothing.
do video on social media.
That
He
have nothing to do with
traditional.
nothing. Very.
We talking about how life intersects with relationships. So you do what you do for a living. We all do what we do for a living, which could be considered non-traditional. We are not the people who just go to work from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 and have pension and benefits. We is not traditional type
we not.
people.
We not.
But
We don't have the weekend. Could you meet me at lunchtime?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do those and of course those things will influence our values and how we live life, how we interact with people. Can we be with somebody who is considered
Traditional.
traditional?
You know, the times itself are changing as well as technology advances and these things. There are a lot more opportunities. So the limitations that you would have had before, or that your mother would have had before
That's
in terms of gaining a job, access to certain things, it's
not there
different. It's
Yeah.
not there no more. So you had to kind of change with the times too now. But
Otherwise,
what I want to know is why you are against the sisterhood. She's totally against the
traveling
sisterhood.
pants
She's
and
talking
all.
about Africa and following our ancestors, but she
doesn't want
doesn't
the
want the
there
sisterhood
is
at all.
nothing inside of Ifa tradition that says that you have to have multiple like Ifa tradition itself.
Okay, so you purposely chose Ifa,
But Ifa is us.
right?
Ifa is us. I'm not saying that there isn't polygamy somewhere inside
Of course there is.
of West African,
Of course there is.
you know,
West
life
Africa
and
invented
etc.
polygamy.
Let's not say they invented polygamy. Relax your body. Relax. But what I'm saying is, if we're talking, when I think of traditionality, I'm not a traditional person. Most of us, 90-something% of people can no longer exist as traditional because, as you say, the world has changed.
Yeah.
One thing in my life that if you want to call it
The trees
traditional,
cut. From the time they started to cut trees, things
right.
change.
The one thing in my life, if you want to call it a certain kind of traditional, non-Western traditional belief system,
Right.
is Ifa. But the Ifa that I am
Subscribe.
immersed in and subscribe
Immersed.
to.
Immersed.
People just have one wife. My Baba have one wife. One wife, thank you.
So you don't know
One.
any babas with 2 and 3 wives?
Not
Yes.
isn't polygamy illegal in Trinidad anyway?
Is it?
Actually,
Yeah,
no.
it
Wait,
it?
no. I think
I don't know.
and the people within the Muslim faith, they can
Yes,
legally
yeah,
have
they
they
can
can
have multiple
legally
wives,
have
yes.
more than one, right?
Yes.
Hence?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
You're absolutely
The
correct.
point is
Yasim had more than.
the I was going to say something, but I will not bust the mark. My Baba has one wife.
Why
And
are
then-
those subscribes it?
I know myself. I'm not
Right,
sharing
you
my
can't
man.
share no man.
Are you mad?
So what about, creating generational wealth and building a family
I'll do
unit
that
that
with
is
one dude.
Strengthening
strong?
and strengthening
One
your
dude.
black king.
How are we supposed to reach anywhere?
So in order to have generational wealth and strength, my black king, he have to have more than one
that
wife.
has to happen in numbers.
Huh.
You know, I wish
too
I had a
tired.
sister
I'm
to
too
drop the
tired.
chair to school, so I would not have to leave.
I too tired, yes?
So you have a sister that drop the children to school. You have one to cook food.
All they
you have
can't
one
take
to
care of one,
educate.
all they want more than one.
No, but I'm saying if you had
I
the
need all it to
resources
speak
too.
within
Only
your
if you-
financial
if you-
brackets.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I know I cannot.
no, I'm not saying that I could, you know.
So then why? Why are you
What I'm
speaking in
saying is-
hypotheticals
what
of
I'm
things you
saying is-
can't
Because that's what we do on the show. We speak in hypotheticals. What to you? This is the hypothetical breakfast
If you
party.
meet a brother who has the resources and he could function
Comfortably.
like that.
Comfortably.
I'm saying that there will
And
probably
meet all
be-
your requirements as
there
a
will-
human.
I am saying, Kalisa, good morning. They're doing it again.
I'm just asking.
I am saying that me, daughter of Roslyn,
Right.
okay? Homo Roslyn,
Not going through that.
not going through that. Somebody else might, as joke and be like, I'm really cool with being Burna Boy's, like, fourth wife. I'll be
Alright,
there.
but let me ask this though.
But that is kicks. I know myself.
Yeah, you
Uh,
know
Let me
No.
stretch it a little further. Could you be friends?
What?
I'm asking, could you be friends with, like, you have a friend,
Uh-huh.
one of your girlfriends, who's
Uh-huh.
part of a sister,
I guess, yeah, one should be interested. Well, and that is a choice she has made of her own free will.
And you're
she
comfortable
cool.
being her friend?
She cool. I could be her friend. I mightn't be in your business, hardcore in your business, but we good, yeah.
And sister, go say to share.
I'll be like, girl, power to you. I'm not sharing peen,
Damn.
well, knowingly.
knowingly.
All right, good. You need to make that clear.
It
Nobody
would- it
shares
would
And-
always-
and when I
it
find
would
out-
always be knowingly.
knowingly.
It should always be
Good
knowingly.
morning. On the topic, I think it will work, traditional or non-traditional, if you compromise and you communicate. Because nowadays, you do have to compromise with certain things, and you do have to communicate. And if both can be on the same page with either or, I think it will work.
Well, yeah, I'm going to give you all the cheat sheets to Mars versus Venus. This is the cheat sheets. The answer is always communication.
Yep.
Like no matter
An-
what,
anything-
no matter
anything you're
what
talking
topic
about.
we do,
Anything you're talking
the answer, I promise you, we technically could finish Mars versus Venus in like the first 5 minutes because the answer is always communication. That's the cheat sheet.
Oh, not really.
You're welcome.
Not if it's on crushed ice. That's, I could tell you that, no.
Remember when your parents used to tell you, once you're with a woman and
The one that cut you with the mic.
they get
But strengthen the man no come. The man himself say a good set. All they want to cut the man mic. All the man say strengthen numbers. All they will kill him.
Strength
Why?
in numbers. Huh?
them small
Yeah,
man,
when your mother and father say what?
Yeah, when your mom used to tell you that if you get a girl pregnant, you have to marry. That's like an old tradition.
Yeah, that yeah. I have a good
Roslyn was
friend.
not of that school.
Yeah.
I have a good friend who experienced that.
Me too.
I'm talking about
Had
real.
to get married?
Listen. This is the case. I'm talking about the young man in particular. By paper standards and even societal
Yeah.
standards.
And religious too.
And
There's some
hold on.
religious bodies who yeah.
Abby, perfect young man. When I say perfect, nobody's perfect. We're talking about well-groomed, well-spoken, well-educated, decent job, good overall human being. Never been to prison, good family values, everything that you will want.
Never been to jail
But
is
he
at
don't-
the
but
top
he
of
don't-
the
As black men, we have to say
top of
that.
the
He
never
don't
been to
strap up.
jail.
He just don't strap up.
Yeah, as we have to say that as
Love
black
it.
men. Never been to prison, no felonies, nothing, right? No arrest, not even a speeding ticket.
Amazing.
Got a young lady pregnant.
Yeah, he just don't strap up.
Right? No, it wasn't a case of that. It was really accidental. She was in the pill, it doesn't work, bam, things happen.
Okay.
Did what is required of a young man in his mid-20s to do. Have the conversation with said parents
Right.
and whatever. Hi, this is what's happening. They know who he is, and me and your daughter are expecting. Father of the child.
Of
decided
the girl child.
Of, yeah. But I don't mind my child.
Them things still happening today.
I know it's still
He
happening.
decided, he said, well, here what's happening, sir. We kind of rushing it. The marriage part. I am committed.
Think more down here soaking.
I am
Think
committed.
more
See
rushing it
why
when
you
you're
see
soaking. But
why
our
it
parents
is-
will say.
No, I'm
want
committed
to cut your
to
mic?
your daughter. I'm committed to the child 150%. I'm physically, emotionally, financially available
What's
for your
stopping you from
daughter
marrying
and
her?
the child. I don't want to hear that. Where is the date? Sir, we can't. I have to then have a conversation with my parents. We can't. Let me go now. I need to talk to your father. Go on, my young father. You're going on. Where your son doing with my child? Well, sir, my son is here. We as a family here to discuss what's going on. My son is not leaving your daughter. He's not abandoning his responsibility. I don't take all of that, you know. He better marry my child.
Married my daughter.
So one person railroaded not just a couple but an entire family into a
he
union
said-
that nobody wanted.
No, they
One
didn't.
person,
They
they
didn't.
didn't.
He said
Okay,
he
great.
said no.
I'm glad to hear that.
And in response, said man took his daughter and child and hid them.
What do you mean he hid them? It's Trinidad.
What?
Where you hide what?
Nah, he moved them
I
out.
don't know. It's Guatemala. Where he is?
I swear, this is a real story. Move them out. Move
Hid
them
them
out.
in Trinidad.
No, move them out.
Oh,
Of the country.
Of the
Yeah.
country.
You're not part of
Oh.
and discontinued all communication.
Papa,
when you go there
you-
to ask and you go to ask who are you all calling police? I don't know these people. They are thieves outside my house. That's how serious it was.
Wow.
All for their belief.
Yeah.
So you've
Some
now
people will die on a hill of
ignorance.
yeah. Ignorance.
I have an instance where a guy got a young lady pregnant and they had the difficult conversation with the parents and same thing. Get married and they did.
They got married.
They got married.
Wow.
6 months later, mash up. Completely
I will never
mash up.
forget. I remember, and of course, you know, as I was bringing these things, the issue of child marriage, and when we went to that symposium, and there were quite elderly religious leaders saying that marriage was the answer for teen pregnancy, and most times with you have a child, somebody who's a child, and most times the men are much older.
Yeah.
And they were standing up there inside of that symposium. I will never forget it. It was at Radisson. And on the mic and thing, I saved them clips. I still have them things saying that marriage was the answer.
How?
I will never understand it. Like
How
will
about it
never
not
understand
happening
that.
at all? It
I
should
will
be the
never
answer.
understand
Crazy.
that.
How about that?
That
Crazy.
marriage was the answer to what was in essence statutory rape.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But do you believe though? Because this also happens as well where you want to get married and you go and you ask the parents for the blessings.
I
You
do
know?
it.
That kind of
And
traditionality.
Yeah. There's a tradition. You have to go and
Right.
ask daddy and say, you know.
For your daughter's
As
hand.
non-traditional
Correct,
as
is
you
right.
are, there's some
Correct.
people who still believe in those things.
Yeah, like
And-
I still have the letter my father wrote.
Huh?
Serious?
Yeah, I have it home. In a fountain pen, and his penmanship is immaculate.
Yeah.
Aw.
I didn't get that gene though. I can't
That's
write to
cute.
save my life, but my dad's writing was amazing. He wrote a full letter
You lie.
in pen. We're talking all commas, all TI dot everything. Neat. My mother have that in a book frame. Asking for
It's lovely. It's very, very lovely.
I believe in that though. I
that's cute.
subscribe to
Guyana?
that. Yeah, I ask.
But you see, it's
and then
hard.
he pull out the hunting gun.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah, when I went up
See,
road.
This is a lot.
I say, well, you know, me
This is
and
a lot.
Colleen together for a little while.
You're
and
looking to
thing
do
and
this
that.
thing.
Well, yeah, man. I like you. He's a good fella, you know. You ever do hunting? You ever went hunting for booty?
I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to interpret
No!
Nah, but you real cool though. You real cool.
that. I don't know how to interpret
How
that.
you to say he pull out his hunting gun, but nah, you're real cool though. How?
You ever went hunting?
Oh wow.
Clack, clack, clack.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But in some
No.
cases,
No, thank
no
you.
disrespect to some mothers,
No,
but
thanks.
you can't do it because they and their father not good. It have that instant too.
What
They
I'll say
they
is,
can't answer.
didn't get
again,
asked the father nothing.
no broad brush. It's a lovely sentiment for those who want to do it, and you know they have that conversation. But nothing is guaranteed. It have people who just ask and marriage will last. It have people who they never tell nobody. They just go down by the red house
And do the thing.
They do the thing. 25
elope.
years later, they're still
they're good.
together.
Yep.
You understand? So nothing
It's what
is
works for you.
Whatever works for you.
Hold on.
But you will only realize like what society has, societal acceptance has become. All we need to do is just keep focused with the Bible, you know, and God's word, you know, that is the
Or
standard.
whatever you believe in.
Subliminally,
Whatever you believe
and
in.
just subtly, all kind of thwarted standards just start to seep into the cultures and societies. Of course, different cultures all over the world have their acceptance of what they believe, but that is what they believe, right? But at the end of the day, is what God says, not what God,
Which God? Which one?
what another person, religion or whatsoever, respectfully, right? is what God's standards are, and that is what the standards will always be. God's standards. You know, you're starting to see all kind of comments
Watch it.
where things just seeping
it.
into society.
Tony, man.
Choices and all
Watch
kind of
it.
thing. Of course, you have a choice, but come on, people, don't
You know to keep
let
a job.
Satan mislead you so easily. Have a good day.
How long that voice note was?
I mean, he understand.
I mean,
yes,
it's,
I know.
at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you, eh?
It's whatever works for you.
Understand? It's whatever works for you.
Belief systems are subjective. Even if you subscribe to a particular belief system, there may be something inside of that belief system that you say, you know what, this is not for me, and that's okay. That's all right. This idea of because anytime we hold on rigidly to something without any kind of subjectivity, understanding of self, understanding of the people around you, you're destined to end up in hot water. You're destined to end up in hot water.
But
belief systems are subjective. The idea of God is subjective. The idea of what is traditional and not traditional is subjective.
everything is because
Come on, guys.
There are homes right now somewhere in the world where there are 5 and 6-year-old children being told that people that look like me is the devil.
Hey.
Every time you see people that look like that, get ready to be violent. And they're growing up believing that that's how it should be. And we on this other side just fighting to this survive and live.
Breathe.
So, as Abby just said, it all depends on space. I have seen it a while now that we've been seeing the shift of the compass. Whatever your moral compass is, that's your moral compass. I cannot tell you how to think, move, and act. I just believe that every individual should lead with love in every space.
That's it right there. It's not
Whoever
we
you
can't
are.
tell you how to live and act.
Yep.
You know, we could in once it is within the realm of empathy. If we live and communicate with empathy, we would be so much better off, because a lot of these belief systems that we willing to die on a hill over are steeped in oppression and dominance. And you all know I don't have conversations without context. You all know exactly what I mean when I say that. A lot of the times we make decisions in our interpersonal relationships based on that. We just see the other day somebody made a very, very poor choice that vilified and dehumanized some young black boys standing up on the moral compass of respectability and church and the Concordat.
Oh, that's the picture of the boys with
Yes.
the hairstyles.
Oh yeah, you weren't here all
Hey,
week.
Vanessa from Long Island. This is a cool pic. She said,
Yeah.
I just see
Aw.
passing. She was sending
Hey
some
girl,
love.
hey.
What up?
Yeah.
Shouts to Vanessa. Top of the morning to you, honey.
Yeah.
That's a cool pic, though.
You weren't here all week, so you didn't get to have that
Yeah.
conversation. But empathy. Communicate with love and empathy, and everything will be alright.
And the administration of down the road, they showed none.
There you go.
They showed absolutely
There
none.
you
And
go.
for grown people, you're dealing with children, you will expect that people in positions that they are in will show some sort of empathy and say, listen, even though this is the situation, we are here now. You are with this impressionable mind. This is a chapter in these people's lives that they're going to hold on to forever. God forbid we were in a different space, and in that moment, one of these young men tripped off
Lash out, yeah.
and swing back and mushing down the whole place. Then what will you say? Because we have seen it happen for way less. In the US, a youth man lose his phone in school and went back and kill 18.
And of
Far
course,
phone.
there's the problem of the expectation that is what young bodies that look like that will do. You understand what I mean? But to get back on the topic, the point is traditional versus non-traditional, whatever that means to you. The cheat sheets. Have a conversation. Communicate.
And as I said, live with love. It all starts and ends with the individual. If I go into a space with aggression, I'm going to be faced with aggression. That's just human nature. You see it all the time. You can go back to the animals. Sometimes they say all kind of things. The reason why some of them animals trip up so because men leave the good place to go to poach, you know. Them tiger and them are running happily go lucky doing the thing, but we decide
Jagusa.
that we want to go inside and take them because we want nice shoes and we want Louis Vuitton to put it in our bag
And
and,
then when they
charge
bite
them
you,
money.
you're surprised.
And then when they bite you more vex than anybody else. Who sent you? Who sent you? So it applies to us as well. If you go into a space, like sometimes you see things where people getting on at the office and carrying on. You understand? And making noise and making bacchanal. Sometimes you go into establishment, and as we know, there's a lot of things that we fighting against still. Like, I still would not understand and accept the whole no armless nonsense at the license office. That is garbage. Right? But as much as you hear, that's why I will advise anybody, which I know is uncomfortable and everybody can, but the more I could stay away from them institutions, the better for me. So I just try and take the 10 year. So I don't have to see for a long time. And in that period, hope that I can be on the side that's fighting to change it. Because we need to keep our hands on the trigger where those things are concerned. Because we should not be going through that in these times. Are you telling me, like, I have seen instances where people travel from far, bro, reach to these establishments, and you were like, how Abby just there right now? You trying to tell her that?
Oh, I can't go in no government office looking. So you
cannot
bad?
go into a government office
I
looking
want
like
shorts and my arm outside. You understand? And ideas about respectability will come into play, and assumptions will be made.
But
and those things also exist within relationships. Sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot in terms of probably making some sort of meaningful, long-lasting connection, because you look at somebody and you assume certain things about them because of the way they present. You understand what I mean? You assume certain things, and you never know that could be your whole soulmates.
True.
Your whole soulmates.
I experienced that. I don't know if it was my soulmate, but I always give the story about Lesbian. We never know she was saying Riley. She didn't look how I felt as though what I was believed to be the look. And going to Atlanta and with Lesbian, living good. You feel Lesbian studying me?
Bonks your head.
Lesbian is nice. And his and
how you
hers.
feel?
In a his and her was spiral stairs.
The
What hurt me was the staircase. I was good until I see the stairs. I
Spiral staircase.
Yeah, I didn't mind the his and hers at that school there. She and Mr. have two for range, that's fine. Two black, yeah, cool. But you see, I see the double stair?
The spiral staircase.
The double stair.
That's the one that hurts you. A mess.
The double stair, the staircase, you can either go up the right, you can go up the left, and meet in the middle.
We'll handle of him. Yeah.
And what was the problem? The problem was what?
We sell in market together. She and her mother used to sell Riley.
Right.
He didn't like her.
And no, I didn't like her. I don't like her, but it's not that.
Nobody likes her.
The imagery. I was brainwashed. I always give this story, and it's not. And I'm ashamed about it, but I have accepted it and move on. But I was brainwashed.
Was she traditional?
Traditional in what sense?
I don't know. I mean, again, it would at that point in time, would you have considered her traditional versus you non-traditional?
No, I was not. I was 15 years old. I was young.
Oh, okay.
I was young. 15. We selling in the market together. She and her mom. We cool. We was real cool. She's one of the first people who was like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. She was very ambitious from young. Was going to school, everything, but she's just a helper mom.
Right.
But she was a single, mom was a single parent. But she's a helper mom, like heavy. Like she used to do all the heavy lifting. So she was pretty popular in this space. Right? And she'd be like, hey, come on, do this. But I, because of being taught the wrong thing, didn't want to be seen with her outside of that space.
Because she used to sell in the market?
No, I was selling in the market too.
So why you didn't want to be seen with her outside of that space?
Because she was not, but you don't know the story, she didn't fit the mold of what I was taught to be the look and the
red.
feel.
She
wasn't red, yeah. She wasn't, but she was just a traditional girl market, but was brilliant, was
so
nice.
She phenotypically was a black girl.
I mean, no, she wasn't black as in, well, she's a black, we all black, but not, she was my complexion, a lighter than me.
Right.
And
the hair wasn't soft. It wasn't.
No,
it wasn't 3B. It wasn't 3A.
What you was selling?
It's given 4C.
I used to sell dry goods and veg and fruits and things.
So she was a 4C girl.
Yeah. Yes, I remember. You can't think. I grew up believing.
Yeah.
My grandmother, everybody telling me don't bring no late for school. That's why I always speak
and
on
all
it
of
now.
that is inside of what some people consider traditional versus non-traditional. Right?
I am telling
all
you.
All
so
of that.
Now I have unlearned that was garbage. But back then,
yeah.
At my age, I can't dictate no pace. Them is my elders.
Yeah,
if they're telling me that this is what is,
that what you believe.
Is what I thought.
Imagine having natural hair now is actually considered now non-traditional. You know, it's almost like things come full circle in a kind of a way. Yeah. Long time we used to call it I wouldn't say the word, but then when you have them fat plats, them healthy African plat and thing, you're considered being old-timeish and thing. If you wasn't hot comb in your hair on a Sunday, and then after that, the relaxer.
When you look back now and see the brainwash, it started all there. You used to have the hot comb, you had to buy relaxer.
The relaxer.
I give the story here 1,000 times when
that was considered traditional.
I remember going by Cadman's.
Yes.
Bro, you know Cadman's in Sour? I remember going by Cadman's and buy the hot cream and brown cover. You know the brown cover? The brown cover TCB?
Right. So natural hair back then was traditional. And chemical or processed hair was non-traditional. As in you're new age, you're a city girl, you're working in the bank, and now we've gone back.
Yep.
Thankfully, although the Concordat is fighting the boys, we've gone back now to we wearing our hair natural, we embrace the natural styles.
I had to get a brown cover TCB gel pack. Because them days,
that's the cream container.
Cream with the brown cover, yeah.
You had juicy curls.
Not the curls.
Now that was the relaxer.
I had to go there because in them days, them girls, when you were Douglas boys, if you're not Douglas,
relax your hair.
You have to put extra curl in it.
I do that
too. Extra curl.
This explains so much about you right now.
You have to put extra curl.
Cap and thing.
I mean, so when I go there, I have curly.
Texturize.
Curly in the mix. Else you get nothing. It's curls or nothing, Abby.
The waves had to be waving.
It's curls or nothing.
Whole day, fellas, only so whole day.
Watch me. At that time, you're going to do that and you leave it too long. By my time, I do that. Me and my God better. Put up me and my God better by the back pipe and we put it in and water gone. You talk one back and now. Daddy, you talk one back and my God better climb the tank. And it's down in the because the tank low down in the bucket. Scoop out.
No, I know. The second time I relaxed my hair, I'll never forget that. Mommy was vexed.
Yeah.
The second time I did it by the lady who used to do my grandmother's hair. And she leave it in too long because she insists that it have to stay in long so it will be bone straight. And I remember being small and telling her it was burning. And she didn't take me on. And it burned to the point where I had like scabs. Like I had to go to a dermatologist and thing after. My hair fell out.
Yeah, one of my
mommy was vexed.
One of my girlfriends, she her mom relaxed her hair from young, right? And she don't want to show nobody. She's ashamed of her baby pictures because all the hair fall off.
I don't show people my naps pictures.
Hair fall off. She had
the naps pictures, I have destroyed as many of them as I could possibly find. Not because, I mean, the hair grew back and it was fine or whatnot, but when you look back on them pictures now.
Yeah. So in naps, you had straight
I had relaxed. And then too, I was funky. By Form 6, I was following every trend Kelly from Destiny's Child did with her hair. I did it. Every color, every cut. By Form 6, I was funky. But as soon...
Nice. See that what I like to talk on the shit.
Wow.
Chemical Douglas Jaiga.
Chemical Douglas Jaiga.
Ain't like that. I go
Chemical dogs.
See that? Shut up.
Chemical dogs.
All right, now, okay, I was young.
So you want the traditional wedding?
No, not necessarily. I know a lot of friends right now that are went to weddings. They're not even doing it in the church anymore. They're doing it in the open.
So you can wear what you want.
Yeah, and so it don't really matter.
You cover your shoulder and thing.
It really don't matter.
You don't have to get a shawl.
No.
And in terms of like a traditional, what do you consider a traditional relationship?
I believe it is based on, well, as you say, communication and each individual having space to grow and develop and do as they please.
Gotcha.
You know, knowing that we on this path together, but you have as much
autonomy,
space as possible to grow and to do what you have to do, and I'm here to support you. You know, it's not like the tradition, like the old tradition where
it's a new tradition, new ideas of what traditional means for
correct.
you.
So it's not that that space where I as the provider, you need to stay home and see what you have to see about, make sure and cook thing. No. It's more of a equal playing field.
And support as well.
Support is 100%.
Every now and again when the outside world gets very ghetto and I'm like, I could be home. You know, I could be home keeping a nice house. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. I think a lot of women feel so too, you know.
Not all the time. Just passing moments when things get particularly hard and outside is rough and you're trying to figure out how to make life work and you're paying the bills and you're trying to be ambitious and you want to do things and you want to change the world, and I was like, I am tired,
The
man.
only thing I can't get over, and we had this conversation here already. Like, I need my woman to at least know how to turn a portrait. Right? Sorry, that's just something with me. You know what I mean? It have women who don't care to cook.
Well, this stuff now.
Is
So
it
that's why your
about
head
cooking
ball.
for
That
you
is not
or
why my head
just
ball.
being
Just know how
self-sufficient?
to cook.
Just to be
It ain't nothing to
self-sufficient.
do. I could cook for myself.
Right.
But just know how to turn a pot, boy. You can't cook at all, boy. You can't
What is this
boil
that body?
nothing.
What is this that body in here that she can't cook for you or she can't cook in terms
No,
of feeding herself?
She just can't cook. You can't cook nothing. Nothing.
I'm saying everybody should be able to feed themselves. That's what I'm saying.
That's what
That's
I'm
it.
saying, Abby.
And in response to that, somebody
That
might
don't
say,
mean she
okay,
have
I
to
could
pay la
feeding,
callaloo, eh?
feeding
Every time-
themselves could mean buying food.
That
Every
exactly.
time I'm not available.
Maybe she just
You
buys
gotta
food.
buy food, boy. You
Okay.
gotta buy fast food, boy.
Okay.
Wait till groceries home, babe. You can't make a one pot, boy. A pilau self.
No, that's
You
hard.
can't make the coleslaw while I
Listen,
making the
hard.
pilau.
people just feel pilau easy.
That hard.
Pilau
You
is
can't
not
ask them to
easy,
make
eh?
pilau. That's a hard start.
You understand?
Oh,
you gotta
If
go
she
pasta
start the
route. You gotta go
pilau
pasta route.
and the chicken is blonde, you
Yeah,
are.
you can't.
it's
When
over.
you want somebody to at
Love
least
it
make
up.
a one pot, don't make it start. Don't start
Don't
with
start with
pilau.
pilau.
Okra and rice?
Yo, what? You mad or?
Sir.
You feel any boy?
Sir.
Not anybody can make local
No.
after Jamaican
In
right,
fact,
Mark.
stay away from all-
So what we talking about?
All
Yeah,
soul
pasta?
food.
Has to be
Macaroni.
pasta.
Yeah, it had to be
Mark,
a
it
little.
has to
Yeah,
start
a
there.
little.
And mincemeat?
Have to start there,
It
bro.
has to be that.
It has to be that. That is the first start.
Alright.
Some kind of
That is the first
Alfredo.
start.
Something.
Alfredo. If they
Yeah.
can't make a basic chicken Alfredo, then it can start with side eye.
Yeah, boy.
Because that is as basic as it
but
gets.
don't tell me you can't cook and the first thing you want to throw your hand with is Caribbean soul food.
Nah, you're mad.
You cannot burning sugar is a skill, honey. It's
Boy,
a skill, dude.
art and burning sugar.
Hello?
Yeah, it's a certain
You
way
have
the
to
sugar
know
is-
when.
the sugar is
You
raised
I
and
don't
fruit.
know when.
You gotta know when.
Listen to me.
To get that
Hey.
you gotta know how to get that shit. People put that already. And when you look at it, everything white, you know. It's a
Burning
Caucasian
sugar
pilau,
is
you
a
know.
spiritual experience.
Yeah.
I maintain. Okay?
I mean, I don't know how to turn pot, boy. That
That is as
But
traditional as it gets for
one
you.
of the tricks
Yeah.
though, one of the tricks I would say is start with breakfast.
If she could make a
Start with
nice
breakfast.
egg.
A nice egg.
Boy, come make egg.
Nah.
Make
boy,
a
come
nice,
egg.
Yes,
a
if you get
nice omelette.
A nice omelette. A nice omelette that looks good. You can in brown and bond way.
And
A
it ain't like it come up in one
That's
go.
a skill too, you know, bro.
Yeah,
You
That's
know,
not
to
easy,
knock
you
the
know.
pot so it come
Yeah.
up nice and it
and it tells you she has good frying pans or not.
Yeah, she have good things.
Yeah,
You
you know.
could boil sausage.
First of all, I am not a believer in boiled sausage. There needs to be some sauteing happening.
Sorting.
Flavor, little
saute
flavor.
it up,
You know, I have some people who will like if you're making hot dog, they just put it in some water and hope for the best.
Boil it, yeah.
I need grill marks and thing.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I
You
need.
fan- you
Thank
fancy.
you.
You real fancy.
Raw agrees with me. I need grill
I'm
marks.
trying
honey.
to get shit on the pot in the bread, eh?
I put some ketchup on that and call it a day. Later with ketchup and say
pot
go
in the
away.
bread one
I
time.
need grill marks.
That's not the
Okay.
bread wet, so it no come off the pot.
I need
Yeah.
toasted bread
Wow.
Papa.
and grill marks.
You need to really need at this point. All right, guys, it was nice. Catch you all next week.
Okay,
We out.
bye.